What's that? People think you're the cutest. They should like and subscribe. Oh, should they? I agree. I agree.
Put your hands together for Kieran! Lights out! Let's go!
So I'm gonna embark on a little mini cut. I'll show you my current weight, my current physique, and then also I'm going to give you a rundown of just what you need to do in order to optimize and just make fat loss 1,000 times easier, like how to structure your diet, when to eat, just kind of everything that you need to know about how to successfully lose fat. So because I'm only doing a mini cut and I'm only going to do sort of 3 to 4 weeks, and I just want to just go hard, and I'm only going for a certain look. I'm probably not going to do like measurements and everything. I'm just going to go off how I look kind of day to day and how I'm progressing week to week, and that will then kind of determine where I want to get to. I'm going to give you 5 simple tips to focus on when trying to successfully lose fat. Now, first and foremost, lovely activity. Getting out, getting walking. So obviously I'm out here now with Winnie, just gonna walk to this little park, and it takes me into Gunnersbury. But again, so everyone kind of focuses on this 10,000 steps. And our 10,000 steps basically is just your minimum requirement to be vaguely healthy. That's like the minimum amount that you need just to stop you like falling apart. So when you're looking to lose fat, you need to increase that. Winnie, come on. Good girl. Do either walking, do cardio, so you can go running, whatever you want. But you should be aiming, if you're looking for fat loss, you want to be aiming for between 12 and 15 steps, 15,000, 12 and 15, that'd be the dream, mate. 12 to 15,000 steps. Obviously depending on A, how much you want to lose, B, in what sort of time frame you want to lose it in. So obviously, if you want to kind of increase it even more, push that number right up. The more steps you do, the more calories you burn, the more fat that you burn. And then obviously alongside that, you want to be doing resistance training, so you want to be lifting weights. Depending on your goal of your physique, depending on kind of what your overarching goal is, that will then depend on how many times a week you want to lift weights. Just to be like optimally healthy, you want to be lifting weights kind of 3 times a week. That'd be like your minimum. But I will still do resistance training because I still want to improve my body shape. I still want to look sick as AF on a beach, you know? And to, come on. So yeah, resistance training is just as important as cardio when it comes to improving your body shape. Now, obviously there's huge amounts of health benefits to both, which is why I always advocate doing both. I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm not all about just lifting weights. I don't see the point in getting super hench and yet not being able to just do simple functional tasks, like walking upstairs. Because I've known but like huge geezers that don't even want to look fucking fantastic, but they walk up a flight of stairs and literally need to get a defibrillator out. Like, it's not about that, you know. I like to be just athletic, is probably the best word. And now with that, nutrition. So 3 simple nutrition focus points. A is obviously get your set your calorie deficit and then track it. Tracking is integral because if you're not measuring something, you are not managing it. So if you're just guessing how much you're eating, you're just guessing what your kind of calorie intake is without any form of real quantitative data, hey, you don't know what to change when things aren't working. So yeah, just track. Use MyFitnessPal, use whatever you want to use, but just make sure that you get your calorie deficit and you stay in that. If you don't know how to actually set a calorie deficit, then just go online. There's 1,000 different types of apps and calculators and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, get into a calorie deficit and track it. Get into a calorie deficit and from there, focus on high volume, focus on foods. High volume, low calorie foods. Quote your healthy foods. Because Satiation is one of the biggest factors. Satiation is one of the biggest factors
running a good and successful diet.
You want to feel full as much. You want to feel full as. Yo, so my battery died, and we are now in the kitchen with Key. Cha cha cha. So it is obviously first day of the cut, and it is now coming up to 11 o'clock, and I haven't eaten yet. So now, by no means do I follow intermittent fasting. All I do is when I go into like a little fat loss phase, quite simply, I just push my breakfast back, because all you're doing then is minimizing your eating window, and as a result, you're just minimizing the amount of calories you can consume. Now, like I said, I don't follow like a specific like the lean gains approach as the 16-8. All I will literally do is just push my breakfast back. I just think it's very, very simple. I have an omelette. So I'll have one whole egg, and then I use bulk powders, egg whites, which I think these are fantastic for a cut, honestly. When you're trying to lose fat, it's just ideal because it bulks out your meal so much, and yeah, tastes great, and I love an omelette. Chopped up a load of tomatoes and mushrooms. I did initially just go to Tesco and left my mask at home. The world that we live in now is I didn't have a mask, so I couldn't go to the shop. Like I would normally have this with like a slice of toast, but I ain't got no bread. So yeah, you know, that's another good way to nail a fat loss phase, is just don't buy any food. So now again, one huge tip when you're trying to lose fat: 1 cow sprays. The amount of calories that you get if you glug oil into a pan is actually crazy. Like a tablespoon of oil is about 180 to 200 calories. So you think about, if you just glug if you put a couple of glugs into a pan, it could be off like 200 to 300 calories. So the little 1 cow sprays are absolutely fantastic. I've then got a couple of bits of turkey bacon. I'll rip them up and throw them in. Again, they're just super low calories, super high protein, so going to leave you feeling full, and it tastes fantastic as well. So little things like that make a huge difference with regards to your fat loss. So if you're struggling to lose fat and you can't find out where you're accumulating these extra calories from, things like the condiments that you have, like sauces, all that sort of stuff, because people religiously do not track them. Same with things like oil, people don't track their oil. So again, all these things will add up, and slowly over the course of a day, that can turn up to be 200, 300, 400, 500 odd calories. Boosh, and this is the end result. And I found 2 of these little thin bagels, so we're gonna have it with that. Biggest tip for an omelette is always finish it off in the grill, because obviously you want to char off the top so it gets that really nice consistency all the way through. Whereas if you just try it and cook an omelette, obviously on the pan, you'll be there for days and the bottom gets super burnt. So massive tip is always finish off an omelette in the grill. 2 more massive tips is condiments. Obviously just get sugar and salt free, lower calorie condiments, because if I'm honest, they taste exactly the same. Boom, lower calorie ketchup. As you can see, my fantastic creative design skills. When you're going through a fat loss phase, you want to make sure you stay super hydrated. Like, get at least 3 litres of water in a day. If you usually drink sort of like 2 litres of water a day, you want to up that, almost double, like 3 to 4 litres a day, and that's just going to really help offset hunger. Sorry, your thirst will portray itself as hunger. So when you feel hungry, it's not, you're actually just really thirsty. Whew, that was howling. First little 5k I've done since a couple of videos ago where you saw I looked ill as hell. So yeah, today was the first run, and it was just kind of blowing the lungs out. I kind of set out initially to do like 10k. I got about 100 meters down the road and my lungs was just like, not today, mate. Like, I had to fight through to get the 5k out. That was like literally horrendous. It was, cause I'm coming off the back of the colds. I can still hear I'm quite like mucusy. So I was just like, I almost felt like I couldn't get oxygen in quick enough. it was just like there. Every time I breathed, I just couldn't take oxygen in. So it was just like proper little lung burner. The altitude training, it's filthy. Ugh. But anyway, so calories at the minute. So when I diet, obviously because of all my kind of history with boxing, all this sort of stuff, and I don't want to be dieting very long, I go quite extreme, so I'm just going to go hard. So I drop it down to 1800, and on days when I do long runs, I'll jump that up to 2200. Today's not a long run, so 5Ks and any less than that is fine. Like when I say long runs, I mean sort of 10K and over. Yo, so it is now Thursday. Obviously started these videos on Monday. Just a quick little update because this will be going out today. But yeah, so my weight is the weight is now 81. So when I started this at the start of the week, I was 82.2. You can already see I've leaned out a little bit, but again, a lot of it, I've not lost 1.2 kilos of fat in the last few days. Obviously, a lot of that will be water. That will be stored glycogen. There will be a tiny bit of fat loss in there as well. And all that is literally is just kind of 4 days of being meticulous with making sure they get a minimum of 12,000 steps in a day, eating 1900 calories every day. Did go over a little bit once. Just a case of increasing the amount of cardio I'm doing as well. So obviously you saw that I went for a run. And because the weather's been beautiful now, I've been cycling to my clients, which is like, again, it's about a 10-mile round trip on the bike. So I've done that for the last couple of days as well as a run. And then I'll do that cycle again today, and also do a boxing session at my gym, which I'll record and I'll put that next week. And then also I'll go for a longer run this weekend. Obviously Dico and I always go for a long run on the weekend. So yeah, like it's just about increasing that calorie output. And again, on days when I do an awful lot of cardio, like I said, I will ramp up my food intake a bit more. But yeah, that is pretty much it. But you can just see, you always get that initial bit of progress. You always get those quick wins initially. So again, that fires up your motivation. That shows you that what you're doing is working, to keep going. So that's what one of the benefits of going quite hard at the start is. You get results pretty quick. Obviously I'm not just saying kill yourself and just eat nothing and do loads of cardio and that, no. What I'm saying is be intelligent about what you're doing, do a bit more cardio, cut your food down slightly, but then also make sure you're keeping that resistance training in. Because as I said, it's vital, because I'm not just about trying to get skinny, I want to get a good lean physique, a good lean athletic physique. That is kind of my goal.